From 1989, it's The House of Usher. Directed by Alan Birkinshaw, this adaptation of Edgar Allan Poe's original short story, The Fall of the House of Usher, is a pleasant surprise. Our story begins with a young couple to be wed, Molly and Ryan, played by Romy Windsor and Rufus Swart. As they're off to introduce Molly to the Usher family and residents, they fall victim to a freak accident in the car, leaving Ryan in questionable condition. Suddenly, our main character Molly is thrown into the Usher house mix. She endures various engagements while navigating the physical and psychological maze before her. The further she interacts with the Usher family, the scarier things get. Cheesy, yet satisfying. This film was a fun flick for my first ever Vinegar Syndrome archive purchase, and with a decent cast to boot, namely Oliver Reed and Donald Pleasance. Both of them are hamming it up in their roles, and the rest of the cast is just as enthusiastic.
You want the Usher fortune deal? Here it is! You savor it!
The scares and deaths in the film are satisfying and creative. I found myself quite engaged in the story as the runtime flew by. I don't have too many complaints about the film itself. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it's a great movie to veg out to while you turn your brain off and just watch the craziness unfold. Vinegar Syndrome's release of The House of Usher is part of their archive series, coming in a unique packaging with both physical and digital supplements, so let's go check it out. So here we are with our physical copy of The House of Usher. The first thing one might notice is that because this is part of the archive collection, its slipcover is actually a top loader instead of your standard style. The material is matte and it feels quite sturdy. We have two different artworks on each side of the slip as well, showcasing the two different posters. We can go ahead and slide out our Blu-ray case from the bottom here. It looks like they've defaulted with the poster that is on the back of the slip. Of course, all of our release information is on the back. The inner sleeve is reversible with each cover option. Inside, we have our single disc, but also, it looks like a poster's included. This is my first Vinegar Syndrome release that came with a poster, and I'm super stoked. It's double-sided, with each poster featured on their own sides. I particularly enjoy the artwork with the burgundy and violet highlights. Our main protagonist, looking shocked with a skeleton up and behind her, captures the feel of the movie much better than the other poster in my opinion. It shows passion between our main couple, but to be honest, the guy is barely in the film. 90% of the movie follows Molly, while Ryan's whereabouts are questionable. Regardless, I love this poster inclusion, and I will want to frame the other side at some point. With that, it looks like we've covered our physical release of The House of Usher. Let's go take a look at the supplements on the disc. Vinegar Syndrome has included two bonus features here. Our first is an interview with the film's director, Alan Birkinshaw. It's nothing terribly interesting, though I suppose if you're a fan of Birkinshaw in the first place, it's a good addition to any interviews you might be collecting. Birkinshaw tells his origin story as a director. He recalls various interactions and efforts throughout the production of The House of Usher, and he has a comment here or there about filmmaking itself. Overall, it has an 11-minute runtime, and the interview is a fine one-time watch. I recommend giving it the time if you have their release. Otherwise, I won't be revisiting the interview myself. Our other supplement on the disc is a gallery of images and stills from the movie. Just like other Vinegar Syndrome releases, we get some poster work, followed by a series of various shots and stills. Always a fun inclusion, nothing that makes or breaks the release. But with that, it looks like we've fully covered what's on the disc. I'm quite satisfied with this release as a whole. The poster is a must-have for me, and the film itself was enjoyable enough for me to look forward to rewatching it sometime soon.